walls throughout the halls of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I saw pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin dog dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, holdings reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive. Are you my paradise? In paradise.
Yes, it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and yes, what did we say? The truth is the truth. And that's what we talk about. We talk about on this show. We talk about the truth.
Is what you can see.
Because the truth is what you can see. And we're working on it, and sorry about the delay today, but we're here at Rococo, one of my favorite places. And when we sit in this one location, it's kind of hard. So I got a new phone to... That's part of what we've been doing is upgrading all of our stuff with new equipment, new everything to try to get us ready for this spring. And my Android phone is just screwing up like crazy right now. So I'm trying to get it to work. And that's what took me so long. And I just, so I'm going to go by the AT&T store to figure out, okay, guys, what is the deal? Let's figure this out so we get this deal done so we can get this where it's all working and everything proper the way it should be. So, but anyway, like I said, today I'm at Rococo, one of my favorite places. If you haven't been here, you're missing out because once you have, be back. And of course, it's located at 4308 Northwestern, right next to Sushi Nico, right down from, right across from Sopango's, and of course, the Chicken Shack, this Chicken Shack second. Of course, the original Chicken Shack is not original. The original Chicken Shack is in Luther, but the other Chicken Shack that's in Edmond off 2nd Street, or Edmond Road, 6th Street, whatever it is. And then, of course, this is the Chicken Shack that's open here, so right here on Western, so you can't miss it. If you haven't been here for brunch, man, come in for brunch. Brunch is fantastic. Sundays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. when they open, and they close at 11 on Saturdays and 10 on Sundays. And then Monday, of course, Sunday through Thursday, they're open 11 to 10. I hope that made that correct. But anyway, brunches are fantastic. If you've never been here, you got to. And then, of course, for catering and events, call 405-534-8838. And the events and catering are all at the original Rococo over there on Penn and 29th or 28th or whatever it is in Penn. That's where the original one is. But anyway, we have some interesting stuff today. We were talking about the Thunder win last night. We're going to talk about LeBron and his nonsense. And I am so, this dude, I'm so over him. I really, really am. And most of you all who really know me, or those of you who already know me, though, I'm a huge Laker fan. I was a Laker fan 1, and I've always been Lakers 1, Thunder 1A. Back when the Thunder first came here, the Lakers and Thunder would have these shootouts. I mean, these crazy games. And, of course, the commander, Eddie Wright, I'd always wear my purple and gold. Always wear my purple and gold because I'm a Laker fan. And everybody in our section right there would just go off on me. Oh, Matt, why are you wearing this? We have a team. I'm like, well, unlike y'all, I support the team that I've always had. And my first team growing up was the Lakers. And now I'm happy that we have a Thunder, but I'm for the Thunder 100% until they play the Lakers. And then I was a Laker fan. Number one, that's the only time. It's kind of like OU and OSU or OSU against any Big 8 or Big 12 team. I'm always for the opposing team until they play us. And that's how it was. I'm a Laker fan first, and then. But now, with this dude there, I'm done. Until he leaves, you don't see me any purple and gold, no Laker stuff, none of my hats, my shoes. I've got some custom AF1 shoes that I wear that are Laker shoes. I don't wear them because he's there. And so the frustration level is outrageous with me, but I'm going to get into our team first and something important and something exciting compared to what we're talking about right now. We're going to talk about the Thunder and how well they are and how well they're doing. And, oh, my God, is that my lunch?
It is. Are we showing it off to the
Yes, we are showing it off. Can you see
Showing it
this?
off.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, look at that. And what is it?
It's a baked shrimp rigatoni.
Baked shrimp rigatoni. And, of course, that is the lunch special, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy that. Let me get rid of my gun because that's kind of rude.
Are you good? These,
I'm gonna try to eat a little bit, and I'm gonna try to talk on the show too. When I get to what I'm gonna do is when I get to the screens, I'm gonna put food in my mouth.
yeah. As you
That's
said.
kind of because this stuff is too good. And like I said, if you haven't been here with Rococo, it's fantastic. But anyway, the Thunder won our 11th straight road game, which of course is our franchise record for us. 11 straight road victories, which is incredible. And I love our team. And I said before, last night it wasn't a huge game for us, but the Kings are who I want to play in the playoffs, and I've talked about that. But it was a really good game. We did what we needed to do. No J-Dub, no Wiggins, and no Kaysen. And for us to win without that group, without those three, says a lot about who we are as a team, who we are as an organization, and what we're coming back. So last night, of course, the Thunder beat the Kings 121-105. And the game was late last night, too. So the game was really, really late. And what we did is I watched the game last night. And then we had our show afterwards. And it was interesting to see. It was a long game last night. It was a late game, and of course, those of us that stayed up to watch the game enjoyed a great Thunder victory. Oh, man, it's magnificent. And very, very hot. But anyway, the Thunder improved to 60-12, the first NBA team to 60 wins this year, which a few weeks ago, you would have not assumed that was going to happen the way that the Cavaliers were rolling in the East. And, of course, they were in the East, and they had to come to the West to get a real eye-opening experience to what basketball is really like. It's not in the East. It's in the West. The Kings are now 35-37. The Kings were 23 for 48, even though they did go 10 for 13 in the third quarter, and they made a huge comeback in the third quarter. They were on fire. And, of course, we lead the league in point differential in the third quarter. We're number one in that. And they just got on a roll. And once your team gets on a roll, it is what it is. The Kings shot 40% from the field. We shot 52. And, of course, Pip's points in the paint, they only had 20. And we had 42, which is about right. Because, remember, we're number one in the league in Pip's points in the paint of giving those up. We had 15 turnovers to their 11. And, remember, SGA had 4 turnovers in the first, 5 minutes of the game or something. And we played very sloppily, and we talked about that last night on After the Storm. And a lot of my guys that came on my chat, they were talking about it as well. You could just see that we did not play well, okay? And I think a lot of it started to do with him. Just like when we play great, it starts to do with him. He comes out, and he's sluggish, and he's whatever, and he's not disinterested, because I will never say that about him. But it seemed like that he was not he was just not there. And you could just tell that we were not there as a team. And so here are the overall game stats of what we did. We played 9 players. Once again, even though it says we played more, we only played 9. We started the game with SGA, Chet, Ihart, K-Rich, and Dort. And I tell you what, the chemistry between Chet and Ihart is just growing. You could just see those two, even though Ihart threw Chet a pass last night. And I was like, don't pull a muscle. Don't pull one of Chet's with muscles. If you know what I'm talking about. He threw one up at I think there are only a few guys in the NBA ever could have went and caught that pass above the top of the square. Even though Chet is 7'4", he doesn't have the greatest vertical in the world. And then, of course, our 6th player, by the way, was Jay Will, and he played pretty good. My problem with Jay Will and Ihart, they're both getting a little loose with the passes. We're feeling really good about ourselves right now. I don't like that. They need to rein that in, because J-Dub is, like, he tried to throw a behind-the-back pass just casually to SGA in the backcourt, almost got stolen. And he and SGA kind of laughed about it, and I'm sure SGA's like, hey, bro, focus, pay attention. Don't come out here and just try to be all cool now that you're getting some playing time. Come on, big fella. You're better than that. 21 minutes by him, and then Dylan Jones, 12 minutes. I don't get that. But, of course, Caruso and Isaiah Joe rounded out the 9 that actually played, and which I guess he's getting into the habit of playing 9 players. What I can say, though, is this. In the fourth quarter, at the 6-minute 47 mark, which we have talked about numerous occasions on After the Storm, our OKC Thunder post-game analysis show, that's the perfect time to bring SGA in because there's already a TV timeout, 6:47. But what he always does, he waits until we put the ball in, then he brings SGA off the bench. Why? It costs us points almost all the time. And I'm like, bro, you're going to get us beat in the playoffs. And then he had to turn around and waste the timeout to get SGA in the game. And then, of course, we went boom, 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 and went from being up 13 to up 25, just like that in 3 minutes. I'm like, this guy is going to get us beat with his minutes management. My guy Mark Long came on the show last night. He's going to get us beat, guys. I'm warning you all. I'm warning you right now, with his minutes management and what he does things, he is going to get us beat. It's a real simple thing. If you want to hold SGA out, 6 minutes and 47-second mark, put him in the game. Put him in the game. Why wouldn't you? Okay? Why wouldn't you put him in the game right there? It makes no – it's just an easy deal. Instead of waiting till they bring the ball in, then you bring him off the bench. He does the same thing when J-Dub's in the game. When J-Dub's in the game, he does the same thing. Dude, 6:47, bring him in the game. It's going to get us beat if he doesn't change that attitude. I mean, he's a minutes manager, number one, Umaro. He must have been a minutes guy when he was a stat keeper, managing minutes. You have the MVP of the league. You don't manage his minutes. You do manage his minutes, but at the same time, when the game is fluctuating back and forth, you bring him in at 6:47. Why aren't you waiting an extra 30, 45 seconds and hoping that there's a foul or stoppage in play? There's already a stoppage in play. Just put him in the game. It's really simple. It ain't complicated. But he complicates things, and he worries me he's going to get us beat, just like he did last year. He's going to get us beat. And I've said this many times. I love our team. I love what they have built, what Sam Presti has put together. But Daigneault is going to get us beat if he doesn't change how he does things. This is going to be the playoffs, and he is the only coach that will do that. He is the only coach in NBA that when we bring SGA in, they bring in their best player. The other team brings in their best player, he brings in Lou Dort. And the other team gets on a roll, and then he'll bring SGA in. Well, dude, every other NBA coach knows. We bring in SGA, they're going to bring in their best player. Not their best defensive player, but their best player. We, on the other hand, they bring in their best player, we bring in Dort or Kaysen or Caruso. The hell you doing? You match their best player with our best player. Our best player is not J-Dub, even though you think he's already on the floor. He's not our best player. Our best player is SGA, period. The MVP. But and I will say this. I will say this. Without J-Dub, he has been a much better coach. He really has. And you can tell by the way that he subs and what he's doing. Now, this is the thing with J-Dub. I like him. He's a great 2B. I say 2B. Our guy Nathan Taylor says he's a 3. He's 3A. He says it's SGA, Chet, then him. I say it's SGA, Chet 2A, J-Dub 2B. But now with the way Kaysen's playing and with whomever, we're doing great. But now I'm going to say this. I don't think we can win without J-Dub. I don't think we're going to win a championship. No way. He's too good. He's too valuable to us. But, excuse me, like I've said before, you have a 5-year window to win. On the After the Storm the other night, we were talking about that, and I was saying that we're on year 1, maybe year 2, but year 1 to me because we added iHeart and Caruso. But last year we were the number 1 seed. I was pointed out on my show. So if you point that on the show, well, yeah, we were the number 1 seed, so this is the second year in a row that we're number 1 seed. Are you going to get past the semifinals? making it to the conference finals is not enough. Okay, last year, number one seed, you make it to the semifinals, you get beat because you get out-coached. Now you'll get to the finals, the Western Conference finals, you get out-coached again. And we had this huge debate on the show last night about who we're going to play and, whose teams are vying to be the fourth and fifth seeds, which is the Lakers and the Warriors, because they are, especially the Lakers and the Nuggets, they want to be the 4 or 5 seed. Why? Because they want to play us in the second round. And the reason why they want to do that is because if they're the second seed, third seed, sixth seed, or seventh seed, which will be Houston, which would be the Nuggets, which would be the Lakers, which would be the T-Wolves. Okay? In that scenario, they're going to beat the hell out of each other for 2 series before they get to us. Now, am I saying that I'm worried or I'm scared? No, I'm not scared of anybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I would rather us have the easier road to play in the finals, okay, to get to the NBA finals. And the easier road would be to wait to get beat up in that final group. Now, we would have either the Grizzlies or the Warriors in the second round, and we would hopefully have the Kings or the Grizzlies, or excuse me, the Clippers in the first round as the 8th seed, because the play-in, we'll see how that works. Because we don't want Minnesota in the first round. We don't want them. We want an easier team, kind of like what happened last year. We want somebody like we had the Pelicans last year. We want a team that we can win and we can kind of get into a little groove. Then in the second, then we're kind of overall the bright lights and the big thing that we can groove into, we can start into the second round, which would be hopefully the Warriors or the Grizzlies. And so, in fact, let's look at that right now. Okay, guys, let's look at that to see what I'm talking about, all right? Where's the NBA? There's the NBA. Oh, that's power rankings. Here's the NBA standings. I don't know why that's messed up like that. It drives me crazy when it does that. Let's make the West bigger because we are the West. Okay, the way it stands right now, the Thunder, okay, the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th seeds, which is playing, is the Clippers, the T-Wolves, the Kings, and the Suns. Those are the 4 seeds right now that are in the play-in, okay? So the Thunder would play the loser, the worst team out of those 4. The Rockets would play the second team out of that 4. So hopefully for us, it would be the Clippers would be the 8th seed, the T-Wolves would be the 7th seed, and then the T-Wolves would play the Rockets. Now, the reason why I say that, the Lakers are the 5th seed right now, but they're only 2.5 games in front of the Warriors. And remember, we play the Lakers twice in the next couple of weeks. So if you go ahead and you play the Lakers and we beat them twice, which is what I believe we have to do. Well, let's not say have to. The Lakers, the Thunder need to beat the Lakers because that really helps. And remember, the Warriors and Lakers play each other tonight, I think. But the Warriors get beat by Miami last night. But they said, that the Warriors spent 5 days in Miami. Oh, my God, you spent 5 days in Miami before a game? There's a lot to do in Miami. And for those of you who all have been to Miami, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lot to do in Miami. So if they spent 5 days in Miami before the game or 4 days, there's a reason why they no-showed last night. So, but anyway, here's that scenario I'm talking about. If you have the Warriors move up, the Lakers move to 6. I believe this is my dream scenario. Let's say it's this. My dream scenario. Lakers are 6. T-Wolves are 7. The Clippers are 8. So we would play the Clippers to start out because we're the number 1 seed, so we'd play them. The Rockets would then play the 7th seed, which would be the T-Wolves. The Lakers would in turn have to play the Nuggets. Okay? So that would be my dream scenario. Then you'd have the Nuggets and either the T-Wolves or the Rockets. So you'd have the Rockets, the T-Wolves, the Lakers, and the Nuggets. That is my dream scenario, the way it would work out at the end after the final 10 games. Because that would work out great for the Thunder, simply because those 4 teams would beat the hell out of each other twice. Not once, but twice. And then they'd have to play the physical team that we are defensively. And I think that would make all the difference in the game, in the scenario. Okay, that's why I was saying it. That's why I wanted to end that way. Now, in our Thunder, here are our last 10 games. We have the Grizzlies tomorrow night. We have the Pacers on Saturday. We have the Bulls on Monday. We have the Pistons on Wednesday. Okay, that's our schedule. Those first four games, the next 4 games are home games. Okay. You have to go 4-0. Remember, the Grizzlies don't match up with us, and I think somebody told me that Ja's not playing. But still, they would still give us a hard time. Ja doesn't really play that great against us anyway, but it would still be a struggle because also SJ does not play great against the Grizzlies either. The Pacers, remember, and I said, well, y'all don't know this. I said this last night on the show. Let me go back to the standings so you can follow what I'm saying, okay? So this is make it easy what I'm talking about, okay? This is who we've lost to in the East. We lost to the Cavs. We beat the Celtics twice. We beat the Knicks twice. We beat the Pacers once. We beat the Bucks twice. We beat the Pistons once. We beat the Hawks twice. Okay? We beat the Magic twice. That's 12. We beat the Bulls once. That's 13. And we beat the Heat twice. That's what we've done against them. Okay? So when you look at the East and look at who we've done over there, we still have the Pistons left one more time. We still have the Pacers one more time. And we have the Bulls one more time. Now, what does that say? What that tells you is that the Thunder have the ability to do something. We would, at that point, if we won all of our last 3 games against the East, I think we would be 28-1 or something stupid. Excuse me. Against the East. Because I think we're 25-1 now, right now, against the East. So you have to beat the Pacers and the Bulls and the Pistons. Your last 3 Eastern Conference teams, and you play them back to back to back. Now, when the Cavaliers came to the West and did that, the West beat their ass up. But I think us being at home versus the Cavs being on the road makes all the difference. So we got to win those 4. Then we go to Houston on Friday. That's going to be a knockdown drag-out. Going to be a knockdown drag-out. Then we have the Lakers day and Tuesday. To me, this is when everything really settles because we beat the Grizzlies. You saw what they are. They're in 5th position, 4th position. Okay? That moves them back. We beat the Lakers twice. Remember, they're 3 games ahead of the Warriors, 2.5 games ahead of the Warriors. We beat them twice. The Warriors will be getting step back, so they'll go on a run. The Lakers have a tough schedule ahead in front of them. We want the Lakers to be 6th, 7th, or 8th seed. Excuse me, 6th or 7th seed. I'm sorry, not 8th. 6th or 7th seed. That's where we want them. So we have the perfect opportunity to put people exactly where we want. And then we beat the Suns. Excuse me. We can hurt the Suns' chances because they're in 10th. And that puts them back. And we can help the Jazz. Help the Kings. So that's why I'm sitting here looking at the schedule and looking at where we are and looking at what we can do. The Thunder have the perfect opportunity to help ourselves by beating the Grizzlies, beating the Lakers twice, and then doing something historic by smashing these 3 games against the East and going 28-1 or something stupid like that. I think it's 28-1 against the East, or 29-1, whatever it is. It's I want to say is how many games? There's 82 games. Is that right? 82 games, and so you play 41 against the East, so we'd be 30-1. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, 30-1. So we're 27-1 now, so we'd be 30-1. Or 40-1. That's not right. That can't be right. Anyway, I believe right now we're 26-1, 25 or 26-1. So that gives us 3 wins. I have to go back and check exactly what we are against the East, but I know the only team that we've lost to is the Cavaliers. And like the commander, Randy right now, we're talking about it, and we were laughing because we both believe that we should have won that game. And on after the storm, we had some angry people coming and talk about it. People are not happy. So anyway, that's where the Thunder are and where they should be. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for surveying or engineering or planning, hit these guys up. Also, if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, these guys will be more than happy to make sure you have clean drinking water. And as we always talk about, who the hell does not like clean drinking water? Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over there. They love to be able to take care of you. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify with them and at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynb. Hey, what's up, big dog? How you doing? Yeah. YNB.com, www.ynbok.com. So hit those guys up. Or we went to one of their 5 locations, and tomorrow we will be at the main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66, the 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right there on Garth Brooks. You cannot miss it. And then, of course, YNB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. And I've said this before, they've got some great smelling perfume and cologne. Oh, my God. I love it. I got some in the car that I use. It's fantastic. And they've always said, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And I try to do that. And if you want to do that for yourself, and if you've got a guy and you're sniffing other, hey, Penn Square Mall, the Dillards and the women's department, go in there and smell some of their perfume. And if you're a woman and you've got a guy that you care about and that you love, hey, go to Penn Square Mall, see my girl Beth. They're at the Dillards in the men's department, and she'll take care of you. Tell them that we sent you, and they'll take care of you. I promise you that. And they've got some great smelling stuff, and I highly, highly recommend that you go in there and get that. So now I'm going to say this. What's up? Dude, I got everybody saying hi to me today. Everybody's walking by Rococo's, or they're coming in here or leaving. So anyway, I'm going to say this. 60 wins in 72 games. We're the 8th fastest to do that in history. Okay? We own the record for the Thunder. We set the Thunder record for the most wins in a row. Road wins at 11. Our guy, SGA, has got to be the MVP. If he's not the MVP, there's something wrong. There's no way he's not the MVP. He had his 65th consecutive 20-point game. His 66 20-point game overall. His 45th 30-point plus game. He's had 12 40-plus games. And of those 12, 7 of them have been 45 or more. 75 of them, 7 of the 12 have been 45 points or more. And then, of course, he has more 50-point games than everybody combined in the NBA. Which, when you think about that for a second, and people bitching about all the three-point shots that people are shooting and all this, and you go, wait a minute, all these threes, why does anybody have more than one 3-point, 50-point game? Why is that? Because he's the MVP. And he's the MVP, one, because the historic deals he's putting up. And he's going to be he's already the 7th player to average 50, to average 30, 5 assists, and 5+ steals. 5+ rebounds. Yes, did you hear what I said? Those are historic numbers that nobody's doing but him. There's a very few people in the history who have done that. And everybody wants to talk about Jokic and all that. Now, everybody goes, well, Jokic doesn't. No, Jokic, he has 2 steals, okay? He's playing against slow big dudes. Okay, he's got a couple steals. You don't look at Jokic and think defense. When I think of big men that think of defense, I think of Olajuwon. I think of Shaq. I think of what's my guy's name? Mutombo. Those are David Robinson, Tim Duncan. That's defense to me. This guy ain't doing defense. He's a big dude who takes care of business inside. He ain't really that. He's not a rim protector. Who's afraid to go driving against Jokic? I'll wait. Nobody. Nobody's afraid to go in and attack him. So, well, what? Yeah, we can see you doing that. You know that, right? We can see that in that pink shirt you got on. Yeah, we can see that. He acted like he was sitting there sliding by. Yeah, we saw everything. Everybody saw everything that she was doing. Yeah, we saw. Oh, you gotta love Benny. That's the GM here. One of the managers here at Rococo, GM here. One of the GMs. Great guy. Like I said, if you haven't been here before, you got to come to Rococo. It's fantastic. So, now, I'm going to do my last rant before I get out of here. LeBron. It's insulting to me, who played in the 80s, to say that I'm non-athletic. I run a 4.3 40, I had a 48-inch vertical. I played, Giannis would average 70. Giannis can't shoot. And LeBron, what the disrespect that you threw out against the 70s, dude, Wes Unseld and those guys, oh my God, Mo, they would took his head off. Giannis is not going to come dominate and score 70 against them. The disrespect that you threw out there shows who you are. Then you're going to go on Pat McAfee's show and say whatever so you can get the maximum amount of views because you're mad at Stephen A. Smith. So you did that on purpose. On purpose you did that. Because you are calculating like that, which is another reason why you're not the GOAT. Name yourself King James. You king of this generation. Yes, you are. You ain't the king of all time. Nobody says that who saw both people play, unless they're mad at Michael. And I've said this over and over and over. LeBron is respected. Michael was feared. Nobody fears LeBron. They respect LeBron. They don't fear him. They know they can talk shit to him. They know you talk trash to Michael, what's he going to do? He going to bust your ass for 40 or 50 and then tell you about it. So for him to do the ultimate disrespect to the players who played back then, dude, the difference is, and I've said this before, any of us could have played today because you can't touch anybody. Is LeBron going to do what he did this and now? Hell no, he's not. Why? Because he ain't playing 20-plus years because he's going to get the shit beat out of him. He's going to get hit, put in the stands, knocked on the ground. His body is not going to allow him to do this. That's BS. Just like Tom Brady. You ain't playing for 20 years, bro. It's a disrespect to the guys who played 13 and 14 years who could barely walk because they were getting their heads taken off. For you who don't get touched to say that they could, shut the F up. There are tons of guys who are athletic. David Thompson wasn't athletic. He's the only person I know of that took a quarter off the top of the backboard. That's not athletic. Dr. J, not athletic. Michael, not athletic. Stop it. Me, not athletic. 4.3 40, 40-inch vertical. Excuse me? I would have loved to play now where you can't get hit. You go down the middle lane and they pick you up off the ground. You all right down there? You're bleeding. Come on. Very few of you all could have played back then. Now, could LeBron have played back then and prospered? Yes. Steph Curry, not as much because he's little. He's going to get put into the stands. But Tiny Archibald and all those guys played too, but not at the level that's now because they're not going to allow him to do it. And Tiny Archibald, most people don't realize, he's one of the top 10 point guards of all time. So guys could have played then, they could play now. Guys who played then, they could have played now. Is the league more athletic? Yes. Is it more skilled? No. I take it back. Yes. But the good players, the great players back then could easily play today. The great players today could have played back then, but their numbers are not going to be the same because of the physicality. And everybody talks about, oh, well, yeah, that's because it was like football. Whatever. They still scored 28,000 points, no matter how physical it was. But there are the league is way more athletic 100%, and it's soft as cotton candy. And LeBron has a lot to do with that. Taking time off and games off. And they're like, look at all the games he's played. Because he was in the East playing in the playoff games. And guess what? 7 games to get. That's why he had so many games. The East was weak, and it took you 6 or 7 games to get to the West, and the West just pumped your ass every time. And let's face it, let's go back and look at the facts here. You beat San Antonio because Ray Allen hit that jump shot, because Tim Duncan was not on the floor. Tim Duncan's on the floor, he probably grabs that rebound, then Ray Allen hits the corner. You were nowhere to be found in that game. You had 2 turnovers and missed shot. LeBron, you were nowhere to be found. So don't go off and talk about all this nonsense. If you're great, you don't have to talk about yourself. I was talking to this friend of mine at the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. And, we're sitting there talking, and he was saying something was telling him about. He goes, yeah, somebody told me about you. Oh, okay, cool. And he goes, why don't you talk about it? I go, what do I need to talk about? I know what I did and what I was. But you got a bunch of haters on your board who don't like me, and they're using their power, executive committee or whatever, to take advantage of it. I said, but listen, I got stats. I can sit there and talk about stuff. That I'm the only one to do something in the history of Oklahoma high school basketball. I was the first guy from Oklahoma City to get a gold medal playing for the USA. Don't talk about that. Second guy from Oklahoma. Don't talk about that in basketball. I don't talk about that stuff, because it's like, whatever, man. I know what I did. I know who I am. I'm not like Ron. I don't have to brag about it. And you look at Michael. There's no debate. And I say this all along, and I tell all these young kids, I said, listen, Michael is the greatest. Kobe is the most skilled. LeBron is the best all around, which means he's like Magic. LeBron is a more athletic Magic. But you don't disrespect back in the day. That's pathetic. You can't compare eras. And I'm going to say this. The only thing I'm going to agree with anybody is saying they're way more athletic today than they were back then. Back then, there's way more athletes. I agree. But for you to discount the physicality of the game then, and they did what you're doing with no physicality. You're beating their records with no physicality. They're winning with physicality. They did what they did when they're getting their heads taken off and getting knocked into the stands and getting beat up. They're doing the same things that you're doing with no physicality. And you get to play 20 years. And they say, well, Kareem played. Well, Kareem was at the center. Well, it's totally different. LeBron's driving to the basket, because everybody forgets he didn't have a jump shot for a long time until this last few years. He going to get beat up. What did Michael have to do? Develop a jump shot. He couldn't survive. Can't survive going through lane getting killed like that. The floor hurts. My body, like when it's cold and rainy, oh, man, trying to get up out of bed, it hurts. It hurts. So, anyway, that being said, that's enough of my rant. Tomorrow we'll be back on the air tomorrow, and we'll be at YMB, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the game tomorrow night against the Grizzlies and its importance. So, that being said, I want to thank Bruce and the staff here at Rococo for letting us come on.